Hello and welcome to your third piano lesson. My name is Anna Whistler. I am a piano teacher, and if this is your first time stumbling upon one of my videos and you want to start with me learning piano from the very beginning, you can click on this link here. It will take you to the first piano lesson video in my playlist. If you are a returning student, welcome back. If you have not yet subscribed or signed up for notifications, please do so to make sure you stay up to date on all of my videos. Let's talk a little bit about what we will cover in our piano lesson today. It's a very big day because we're going to finish the twinkles hands separately, and we're going to learn how to put them hands together. So first time playing a piece hands together, and then we will wrap up the lesson with me introducing yet another sort of variation on a warm-up that you can do to take the warm-up that we did last time and kind of give it a little bit more motion and movement. So without further ado, let's delve into our new material for today. Okay, I am happy to share with you that you are 80% of the way there with your Twinkle theme. Today I'm going to teach you just the last remaining 20% to complete the whole theme. So as a quick review, let's go over the first parts that we've done already in our first two lessons. We had our right hand thumb starting on the 5th C, counting up the number of C's from the bottom of the keyboard. And we had nice rolls up to your forefinger on G, 2 pinkies, a long roll on your G with your forefinger, sliding your forefinger over to F, and slowly walking down, long roll on the thumb. Okay, that's as much as we've covered so far in our first two lessons. The only bit that we have to add on from here is just kind of what we would sort of refer to when I teach my younger students. I call the peanut butter and the jelly of the sandwich. We have the outer slice of bread already. Now we just need the filling. So we're going to go back. Now that we had shifted our hand over, we ended with our thumb on C. We're going to go to our pinky, which now is on G. We're going to do 2 rolls, and we're going to just keep walking down with the 2 rolls, except this time we're not going to go all the way to our thumb. We're going to do a long roll on our 2 finger. So we'll call that the peanut butter. And now the jelly is actually the same thing. We're going to do one more time, 2 rolls on the pinky, and another long roll on the 2 finger. Now that sets us up to go back to our bread section, which is basically the phrases that we learned in our first 2 lessons, and that's how we finish the Twinkle theme. Jumping up to your 4 on G, and then picking up your forefinger, sliding it to F, walking down. Long roll on the thumb. So with that one phrase, it's kind of our bookend of the theme. And then we have our sort of smaller phrases in the middle. And let's just do a quick review one more time of the new material. The new material, we use just these 4 fingers. We don't use our thumb. But it's the same idea as what we had before with the 2 rolls. And then you're just walking. Long roll on the 2 finger, and then you just repeat that. Okay, now we have the whole thing. Let's try it together. Right hand only, then we'll take a look at the left. All right, I'll count us in. 1, 2, ready, go. up to your pinky. Repeat that little section again. And our last phrase, just like the beginning, jumping to the 4. Very nice. All right, let's take a look at the left hand. Okay, for the left hand, we'll do yet again a quick review of the first opening phrases that we did in our first 2 videos, and then I'll show you the new material. So just a reminder, we start with our pinky. This is C3. We have middle C here. This is 1 below middle C. Our nice rolls going up to our 2 finger on G. Moving that 2 finger to F now. Long roll on the pinky. Okay, that's our bread section. Now for our peanut butter, we're going to go to our thumb on G. 2 rolls, walk it down. Long roll on your 4 finger. So this time we don't get our pinky at all for our filler phrases. Then we do the same thing for our jelly section. Okay, so that's kind of nice. They're smaller phrases and they're just sort of contained to these 4 fingers. Then once you play through those, we get a repeat of the phrase that we opened our Twinkle theme with. So we start with our pinky and go to our 2 finger on G again. Okay, so now we have the whole twinkle in the left hand. Let's try playing it together slowly. Now, if I'm going faster than you can play it right now, do not worry. My speed is a goal that you can aim for throughout this week of practicing. And feel free to just pause it or skip ahead if it's a little bit too fast for you, and you can go on to the next section. All right, so let's try. 1, 2, ready, go. Very nice. Bravo on finishing your Twinkle theme hands separately. Now, we're going to learn how to put them hands together. Okay, now if you had a chance to practice the warm-up that I gave you in our last lesson, your hands should be getting a little bit more comfortable playing hands together and lining up our fingers in both hands so that they get used to playing with the other hand pair finger. For example, your right hand thumb has hopefully gotten used to playing a little bit with your left hand pinky. We have a lot of that going on with our twinkles. So if you get your hands lined up for where they each play for the twinkle theme, there are a couple things that we have to sort of keep in mind as we go forward, because even with our warm-up, we were staying with just 5 notes. But with our twinkle theme, remember, we're kind of jumping and moving our hand position a little bit more than that. So we have some new pairings of our fingerings to get used to here. But let's start with the first phrase, and we're just going to start with our right hand thumb, left hand pinky. Those are the two that play together, making sure that we don't lose any of our rolls or our hand position now that we're adding in another element to think about here with our hands together. Now we have a jump. We're jumping with our 2-finger on G in the left hand and our 4-finger in the right. So if you have been doing our warm-ups, that pairing should feel pretty natural. The only thing that's a little bit different from the warm-up is that we're going to be on G instead of F, because we have our jump and our twinkle to our G. Now to your thumb and pinky. Long roll on your G's. Now we're going to pick up these 2 fingers, whoop, and slide them next door back to the F's. And we're going to do our 2 rolls and walk down. Middle fingers always feel so good because it feels balanced in both hands. 2-finger and 4-finger on D. Long roll on your C's. Okay. Now, that's really, I think, the hardest part of the twinkle, because then the peanut butter and the jelly, those we don't have to jump or anything like that. We keep our hands exactly in our hand position. So for the peanut butter, we are going to go to our G's, so our pinky and our thumb, walk it down, long roll on your D's, and we're going to repeat that. Now our last slice of bread, again with our C's, pinky in the left, thumb in the right, jumping up to your G's, 2 and 4, A's, long roll on your G's. Now slide these fingers that you just played down 1 note, and keep walking. A long roll on your C's. Very, very good. Now, if this is going too fast for you, feel free to pause and work on each individual phrase, hands together, before trying the whole thing. But I just wanted to introduce it to you because I think if you've been keeping up with your practice and you were doing the warm-up, that actually this will come to you rather quickly, or more quickly than maybe you would expect. So I just wanted to introduce the hands together. Let's try it once now, all together, the whole thing. And again, if it's too much for you right off the bat, practice a few days and then come back to this video and then try it again with me. But just so you have it here, let's give it a go, okay? So get your hand lined up and I'll count us in. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. Excellent work. Okay, to wrap up our lesson, I just wanted to give you a variation on the warm-up that we covered in the second lesson. So just a reminder, the warm-up was a walking up, a skipping, and then finishing with your chords. We're going to keep the same exact pattern, but now we're going to start moving our hands up the keyboard. So we're going to take it from C with our thumb and pinky on C, and we're just going to slide next door so that our thumb and pinky are on D. It's going to give us a different sound. We're actually walking through D minor. And then playing a D minor chord. And we're going to keep going with this. What's good about this is that, first of all, it gets your hands used to moving to a different hand position. And secondly, it gets your ear attuned to all of the different chord qualities and sound qualities within a major scale. Because basically we are just still playing within C major, and we'll talk about major and minor and scales and everything in future videos. But just to say that as we're going through these different 5-finger patterns here, you're getting introduced to, for example, here's A minor chord. So you're going to actually be kind of soaking up different sounds, even if you're not aware of it fully. And then finally, back to C's. So that's the warm-up that I would do for this week, starting on your middle C and 1 octave below, and then working your way all the way up until your left hand gets to middle C. Great work on your third lesson. Let's talk a little bit about how to practice this week. So I would do the warm-up that we just covered. Probably should take you 3 to 4 minutes maybe. And then I would play each hand separately for your twinkle, going through that a few times until you feel pretty comfortable with each hand separately, keeping not only getting the notes correctly, but also keeping the rolls, keeping nice curved fingers, making sure that we're not losing any of those elements as we are adding more material in. And then I would spend probably the better portion of your practice time on the hands together for the twinkles. So maybe somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes on the hands together. If you can play through the whole twinkle hands together pretty successfully 2 to 3 times a practice session, that would be great. Thanks again so much for joining me. If you want more content, more in-depth videos, and the opportunity to work with me one-on-one, you can join me on my Patreon, which is linked in the description box below. And otherwise, have a wonderful week of practicing, and I will see you at our next lesson.